Hey guys, welcome to Nerds Club, and this is our first video in the series How to Make a Maze Game. So let's get going. So first, let me start off by talking about game objects. Game objects are just fundamental object that represent a character, a prop, or a scenery. So it's just any primitive shape even. But how do you add a game object? You can see the hierarchy where all the game objects are, and you wanna add a game object. Just right click and go to 3D object, click 2D, go to 3D and click any game object. Go to add. I'm gonna say cube. Now we have a cube, but how do you go close to the cube? It's too far away. So I'm in laptop. I don't know about a PC. Just right click and use WASD activity. But if it's too slow, just shift W and go fast. Now we have cube. It's a boring gray cube. I'll tell you which color afterwards. First, to see how to change the position of the cube. You can see that move tool. Click it, select the cube, axis. Now I can move the cube. Now we have the rotate tool. And if you don't click on these lines, you can see those green, blue, and red lines. It will make a tagboard rotation. You can try it yourself. Instead of clicking here, click on these sides, and it's just going to make a free rotation. Okay, now how do you make the cube larger? Here we have the scale tool, okay? And you can just scale the cube. That. And that. So this is a challenge for you guys. Please go into Unity and make a flow, a normal flow, and I'll just wait for you. Welcome back, guys. So today, now I'm going to tell you how to make a flow. As you know, you just need to control the unused activity. Yeah. So now how I'm going to do? So the smartphone there will give to drag and just move back. The reds exactly. Here's your floor. And now I forgot to tell you one thing. If you want to make large in like all axes, you can use this white kind of which you can. Now we know the basics of moving, rotating, and scaling. I want to talk more about the inspector. On the right side, you can see the inspector where you can rename the object. Now we just have it a cube. Now we can call it a floor. Now enter and you can rename in the hierarchy. Now, if you want the position to be precise, you can go to the transform section, the inspector, and just type in your position. If you want to use a slider, you just hover over the X, Y, or Z and drag it. You can see it moves. So now I just want to move to the center point of our world, 0. Oops, where did it go? Oh, here it is. This is, if you want to mark it down, this is the center point of our world. This is very important point of the world. 12, this is the center point of the world. Now, if you want to rotate it to a specific angle, use it. Rotate. And guys, using a slider helps you a lot and saves your time. here's the scale. But then if you're planning to make a 2D game, I'm just teaching 3D afterwards and talk about 2D. You might not need this D because the 2D object only has set but step. So like go into a 2D project and increase the Z like million, you just see no thickness. So I'm telling you that. Now, one more important thing. If you want to play the game, you can press the play button. And you can see it's a bit weird. What is this gray? So you can just play. So the problem is you can see the main camera. The camera is the thing which broadcasts all the the whole game into your game section. So basically, you move back and you see the bottom right here. This is what you're gonna see in the game. So move back, you can see what. So this is the preview, the main camera. So let's say I want to rotate it. Now, when you go to the game section, you can see this is what we play. So let's just play the game. So this is what we see. Now, what if you move the main camera? So I'm just going to. And what do you think is going to happen? Let's see about that. Let's play. It says display one, no cameras. So we have so this says that main camera is required in the game. Without a camera, you can't play a game. So I'm just going to add one camera. I click and camera. Let's see. Okay, this view in this mode. Okay, I like this view. But then it's a lot of tweaking, like grabbing the camera, getting it, getting. It's a lot of work. You just look here and select the camera, game object, click align with view, and you see here what I'm seeing in the scene view is coming in the game view. So play and see. Oh, so this is what you see. So now, what do you think will happen if I remove the light here, directional light? So those who don't know what directional light is just light which gives you it's just light. So let's say let's just say that this is the Earth, okay? And I want it at kind of like 12 o'clock, 12 p.m. kind of setting. So I'm just gonna rotate this that it faces downwards. Like the sun's the faces downwards, right? And that's more like 12 o'clock. So now, what do you think will happen if I remove the direction? It just goes down. But when you go into the game, you just see down and back. And I think this is the end of the first video. I hope you like it. Like and subscribe. And